Steve Kornacki, you're at the big board. That's just, there's so many nuggets that we could go through, but I think that tells you everything you need to know about turnout, that the no vote right now already has more votes than everybody who showed up to the polls in 2014 in the state of Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, just to put it in some perspective, I guess our decision desk right now, at least, thinks that the turnout is going to end up at about 875,000. That's a rough number here. That's subject to change, but I can tell you the estimate has been going up and up all night. So 875,000, a couple ways to put that in perspective. You mentioned 2014. In 2018 in the primary, it was 468,000. You had competitive primaries in both parties in 2018. In the 2016 presidential election, the general election in Kansas, it was 1.2 million, a little bit under 1.2 million. It was just over 1.1 million in the 2012 presidential election. So, yeah, this is staggering turnout. And again, we're saying now we think 875,000. It's not impossible that number could get revised even higher, because that has been what's been happening all night as these votes have come in. It's just vastly exceeded what was expected in terms of the turnout. So, yeah, I mean, this was, I heard Dasha just talking about that. Democrats in the wake of that Supreme Court ruling were saying this was something that was going to energize and mobilize voters, particularly in suburbs, particularly, this is the one I've been watching all night. This is the one I've been watching all night. Johnson County, you're absolutely seeing that just in terms of the level of turnout, the level of opposition here. Just look at the political story, by the way, of Johnson County. This is a quarter of the state. A quarter of the vote comes out of here. It votes for Mitt Romney by almost 20 points in 2012. It's competitive, but for Trump in 16. Turns toward Biden by 9 in 2020. Now on this referendum, nearly 70% voting no on this referendum. And what Democrats say is there's a lot of big suburban counties in key swing states like Pennsylvania and Georgia and Arizona that have taken this kind of journey over the last decade and that would have this same response to that Supreme Court ruling.
And Steve, just to put this into some perspective for people, when we started this night, we started talking about it'll be interesting to see the margins of the turnout. We thought we would kind of be weighing at and inspecting the turnout from that perspective, potentially a close race as we headed into this night. The fact that the margin is so big, and initially it was just the early voting, but the same day voting kept pace the entire night.
Here was at the beginning of the night, we had one county reporting its early and mail vote. It was the only thing we had in the state, and it was Shawnee County, which is where Topeka is, the state capital. And I said as a cautionary note to everybody at the start of the night, no was at 70% with that batch of votes. And I said the benchmark in Shawnee is probably about 60%, high 50, about 60% is what no wants to have, and that 70 will come down. Question is, would it come down under 60? Well, here's where it landed. It landed at 66. Wow. So, yeah, it really, and we're seeing this as these bigger counties now complete their counting. The yes side did do better with the same day vote, but not nearly the way it needed to, and not nearly the way Republicans typically do, the way like Donald Trump did with the same day vote in Kansas in 2020.
Steve, it is interesting. Kansas really was our first example of what happens when there's one party control and there's overreach, or the perception of overreach. And you think about the journey of Kansas from where it was 15 years ago to where it is now. I mean, I heard Claire McCaskill earlier talking about growing up in Missouri. She made fun of Kansas and all this. Well, I've joked that Missouri and Kansas have sort of swapped places from where you and I came of age, Steve, where Kansas looks more like a state that's bordering on swing state territory and not Missouri, which really in 15 years ago was the other way. But it really feels like Kansas is the story of what happens when one party overreaches. The punishment can be felt for years.
And it's the other thing that's striking, too, about Kansas is, again, I think there was a default assumption, red state. Trump did still win this by 15 points in 2020. But this exact same constitutional amendment was actually on four other state ballots over the last decade. Before this year's Roe ruling, the overturning Roe, it was on the ballot in Alabama, in Louisiana, in Tennessee, and in West Virginia. Same thing, to put in the state constitution that there's no right in the state constitution to abortion. It passed in all four of those states. It was overwhelming in three of them. It was only close in one. That was West Virginia. And I think a lot of people, their default assumption, right, is that Kansas belongs, politically speaking, in that same neighborhood. And now, look, obviously Roe being overturned put this thing in a whole different light in terms of the voter interest in it. But the result could not be more different here in Kansas than it was in those 4 states.
Yeah.
No, and this is not the same Kansas. I mean, it is not.
And
it is not the ruby red state that people once thought it was. Sorry, I had to try that one.